Well, hello, everybody. I'm so glad you are here. Do you believe it's the eve of Halloween? Was this the fastest month you've ever gone through? It certainly was for me. September felt long, but maybe that's because I had all the car stuff going on. But here we are doing our own version of what we like to do for energy, motivation, have the scale move, have the clothes fit better. Oh, all the different things that we try. I am so in love with Jen Stevens and the clean fasting and what it's done for me. And I'm so glad that all of you are responding with you either knew her before and knew that it was time to start practicing some of her ways, or you just got introduced to her like I'm 1 2 weeks into it and what she's done for your life already. So many of us are right there at the cliff with our fasting and the losing of those sniggly pounds, especially if you put them on trying carnivore out and found, well, that's great for the young ones, but nope, I guess I need a more balanced food plan. And she just gives you that nudge to jump over. She has a way of explaining how we have to give up the flavors in our coffee. We have to give up the flavors in our soda waters. We have to give up all those sort of things. And now they're saying that all these soda waters are toxic for us. So, oh, does it ever end? Well, I'm sticking with my Gerolsteiner mineral water. Hopefully, over there in the Nordic country, it's a safe bet still. Plus, my triple filtered water at home, and still having my nice Wicked Joe ground coffees in the morning that are organic and tasty and different flavors. And so that nudge that I needed from her helped me, and I was able to lose the pounds and just like, wow, that was way too easy. And some of you are finding the same sort of thing. So I'm really glad that you've glommed onto her as well. She has a vast library, so to speak, of different podcasts, Facebook groups, her 2 books, probably coming out with a third. There's just nothing that she's a wicked smart lady and she knows her stuff. And I'm learning more and more from her. It's not what you eat, it's what you do when you're not eating, and then how you get to that OMAD and have an abundant meal and still have the success you want. I think doing it her way and having my veg and every now and then a higher carb veg has made a big difference. And so when I do the clean fasting her way, Jen Stevens, GINSTEPHENS, so it's PH, not V, finding her on Facebook and her books. I just go onto Amazon. I don't have the patience to read. I'm too. So I listen to her podcast while I'm doing things, and I absorb it. But I read the Amazon book reviews, and it's like being in one of her courses because they explain, and how she keeps getting more and more defined, refined with what she's finding and passes it along. I mean, what a gift for those of us that want that push over the cliff. There is a net at the bottom, trust me, to grab us and have us have that 1 or 2 more tweaks to really make it great. We're not going to be 35 years old with a size 0 body and wearing our Calvins. Remember our Calvins? Nothing comes between me and my Calvins. Such a naughty ad. And just having that wonderful, like, over the ledge into like a zone that we just like, where was this all this time, right? So I'm happy. I got my Explorer back yesterday. I've been driving the 6-speed wonky 15-year-old Jeep, bless her little heart. But I got my car back, and there I was out there this morning at 4 o'clock with my little Dyson cleaning the floors and the timber, whatever those mats are, and then disinfecting everything, and then cleaning the Carhartt back seat that I have, and then the way back, which is where I put my groceries for Instacart. It just felt so good. Driving home with it, I felt like I was driving a new car. I kept reaching for the clutch and reaching for the 6-speed shift. So driving this is going to feel like I'm in the back of a limo, even though I'm driving it. So I can't wait to get started today with my Instacart. And Uber, it's going to take probably a week for them to approve me. But, I'm just so delighted to be back doing that. I've got instant energy just from having that. It's clean, it's ready to go. And I will do Instacarting. I can do Lyft and just be back in action again and start to replenish the coffers from the tires and the deductible. So I feel really, really good today. And I'm so ever grateful for what this woman is teaching me. Maybe she's teaching you too. Maybe it was the nudge you needed just to get to a new place. It's so nice to be 70, going on 71, and have a new motivational, energized way of approaching things. I just love it. And, when you get to be our age, instead of just giving in and just saying, well, I remember this one woman I knew from AA, and she was gaining at a rapid rate, a few years younger than me, so mid-60s. And she said, well, I'm just destined to be a fat grandmother. Just like that. Okay. Well, okay. But I like it, having less on my plate, but more of what exactly I want, and not having, not caving in at or with things that can get me into trouble. I love the clean fasting part of the day. It's just so motivating. And I was reading a comment from Virginia, and she has given up the cream in her coffee. She still has the sweetener for now and other things. But she saw that, wow, she lost weight from just giving up the cream. And she was so afraid not to have the fat in her fasting window. And I so totally get that, because I thought I had to have the fat in my fasting window. And, so, okay, I gave up the butter, I gave up the ghee, I gave up the concoctions that people would send me to review, so I'd have them. And it's like, to really have the unflavored, unsweetened 24 hours in between my next OMAD, what a difference it's made for me. Some people can't, they open, I love how Jen talks about opening the window, and sometimes she keeps the window opened, like when she goes to her little, I guess, oceanside condo or cabin with her gal pals, and so the window stays a little bit open longer for their fun that they have when they do a little pattying with some wine and stuff. She doesn't really talk about what she eats, although I did see her show what she ate, and she said, I know it looks like a lot, but it's my OMAD, and it's what I'm used to, and this is what I have, and I so appreciated that. So I try to post, what I'm having. Yes, it looks boring. Yes, it looks like the same that I had last week, but I keep doing it to show you that boring and being consistent, it's how you look at it, right? You can be bored with what you eat, or you can be delighted with what you eat, have your favorites every single day. You have an OMAD. It's one of your top 5 or 7 favorites, or maybe you have crack slaw twice a week, or you have a big A salad, a couple of times a week with some diced chicken, some bacon, a hard-boiled egg. Why not throw an avocado? Why not call it, the Cobb salad with chicken? I mean, why not? And how delightful it ends up being. We don't need to be deprived in eating to make the scale move, make our health get better, make our lab work better. We don't need to be depriving anymore. You can even, or I can even, have a little treat every now and then, and it doesn't hurt the scale with what it tells me. I'm so firmly convinced that it's the OMAD and the clean fasting time that make the difference in my older, deranged metabolism. So it's time for me to get going now that I have the freedom of this car that I can use. And I'm so glad all of you are here. I love the comments. I love that you trust me when I pass along a name to you to keep it going and check that person out and see the difference it's made for me, see the difference it could make for you. It just, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and I seem to be following her instruction, and I'm delighted. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with my keto lifestyle, and I'm loving it. Thanks for being here. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.